And I want to talk about something that's really been troubling me a lot. Look, I understand that we're all watching the events in Syria, as well we should. The world could stand on the brink of another major war the way this thing is going. And look, it's a tragedy, and I'm glad that we feel empathy at long last to at least some of the victims of that horrifying war. But it's funny how empathy can sometimes be selective, especially when the media are covering some stories much more than they cover others. And it really bothers me that we continue to ignore the human catastrophe in Yemen, especially because Yemen is a catastrophe that we are contributing to every single day. Now, yes, of course we should care about what's going on in Syria, but and of course we should take responsibility for it too, because if we hadn't invaded Iraq, I don't think we would be, in fact, I'm quite certain, we know for a fact that we would not be dealing with a war situation in Syria right now. But let's talk about Yemen for a second. Yemen, which is something we are directly creating. As Marjorie Ransom, who is a diplomat in Yemen, says, the cause of that intervention, quote, direct U.S. military complicity in this long and pointless campaign, meaning the war on the Yemeni people. She explains that we gave logistical guidance to Saudi military headquarters in Riyadh before the war, and that we continue to provide intelligence to Saudi defense officials, and we provide aerial refueling to their bombers during their bombing runs. Now, what the dictatorship in Saudi Arabia, and don't believe all the puff pieces you read about the new dictator over there, it's a dictatorship. What the dictatorship in Saudi Arabia is doing is starving the people there, is tormenting the people there, is subjecting the people there to terrible disease. They have no access to medical care. If you think about some of the statistics over there, it should absolutely appall you. A child under 5 dies every 5 minutes in that nation of preventable causes, every 5 minutes, or excuse me, every 10 minutes, meaning while you listen to these words, there is at least a 50% chance that a child will die of preventable causes because we are continuing to support the war effort there. Now, 18 million people are food insecure. 8.4 million people don't know where their next meal is coming from. 3 million of the acutely malnourished people in that country are either small children, pregnant women, or nursing mothers. Now, nearly half of the children there between the ages of 6 months and 5 years are chronically malnourished and stunted. They will never recover from that, and they continue to get worse. Now, I could give you more statistics, but the point is this. We continue to refuel those bombing runs. We continue to support the Saudi government. We continue to aid this war effort. And I'm wondering, where is our compassion now? Where is our empathy now? Why is it so easy for politicians to stir up public sentiment for invading, for bombing, for attacking, and so difficult to stir up public sentiment for leaving people alone, for ending the process of torment, which we are subsidizing and backing and supporting? Look, liberal interventionism, the idea that we're the country that's going to go in and rescue everybody, is a very seductive idea and myth. It's hard to resist those messianic voices that tell us we're the indispensable heroes of our time, that tell us we're the saviors of the world and we're the saviors of the world's children. But maybe it's time for us to ask, in countries like Yemen, who will save the children from people like us?